Welcome into Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on the show, Dansby and his streaky power. Franks is in a tough position, and the Hawks did the right thing. It's all next. Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
We welcome you into a Wednesday hump day edition of Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your search browser. When you get there, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment. Free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review, and then follow me on my personal Twitter page. That would be at JMCH316. So as the Braves have been beating up on the god-awful, pawn scum, flea bag, low life, dirt bag, muck and guck in your gutter Pittsburgh Pirates, one guy who's had a very interesting season in a lot of different ways is the soon-to-be free agent Dansby Swanson at shortstop, right? And I was looking at some numbers the other day about Dansby, and when you look at Dansby's numbers overall from a 35,000-foot view, right? He actually has had a very good season, and I do think that he's going to end up winning the Gold Glove this year. But 16 homers, 69 RBI, 80 runs that he scored, 16 steals to go along with it. Now, most likely, we expect Dansby is going to be a 2020 player for the Atlanta Braves, right? But, boy, that 16 homers that he's hit, which is not a bad number. That's what? I think it's tied for third on the team right now, or tied for fourth on the Atlanta Braves team. But how he's gotten here is very interesting. So I was looking at some numbers. Dansby didn't homer in his first 19 games of the season. And if you look at his numbers up to April 27th, he went 71 plate appearances in 19 games without a single solitary homer. And then in the next 75 games, up until the All-Star break, which was July 17th, was the last game the Braves played before the All-Star break. In 323 plate appearances, he had 15 homers. Since the All-Star break, which takes you all the way till yesterday in the game against the Pirates, he's had another 138 plate appearances where he's only had one home run. So in 323 plate appearances in a consecutive streak, he had 15 homers. He also has another 209 plate appearances at the very beginning and here so far at what's the up-to-date part of the season where he's hit a grand total of one homer. Now, look, everybody knows that when I speak on the Braves, I have a direct pipeline into the dugout. They listen to me on an app. They listen to my show, right? We get them down. We told you about Olsen. He responded, right? We've talked about Ronnie. He responded, right? Here's what I'm asking for Dansby, because he's had an outstanding season, and he's going to be a very, very, very rich man in this offseason. I need him to get his power stroke back. And look, he's done a lot of good things. He's still hitting, with a really good average this year. Dansby's at 290. His on base for him is pretty good at 344. I'll take all of that. But boy, the home run streak for a guy who last year hit 27 homers, and he profiles as a guy who could be a consistent 20-25 homer. And I expect he's going to certainly be over 20-some homers this year, right? He's already at 16, and we've got 40 games left to play for the Atlanta Braves. It's when you dive in the numbers, it's how we got here and where we're at with all this. Didn't do anything at the beginning of the year. His power has decreased since the All-Star break, but a really good stretch through the middle. Now, we'll talk more about this here in just a second, but first, we'll talk about my friends over at BetOnline, betonline.net. Listen, it is the best and easiest way to get all of your sports wagering information, place your bets. Baseball season is rocking and rolling, man. Divisional races, things are cranking up and heating up. Games are tight. You want to put some ducats on that. NFL football is here, about to wrap up the preseason. College foosball starts this weekend We got week 0 already, games coming up, and then all the big games happening over Labor Day weekend, right? Football season is in full throw. Golf. Oh, yeah, the Tour Championships here in town this week. Yeah, we got boxing. We got MMA. All of your esports and betting information is right there at betonline.net. Your best source for all of your wagering information, esports, betting, scores, podcast information. All of it is right there. Use that mobile device, right? Super easy. Go to betonline.net. Get all the information you need. Wager smart. Be informed about what you're putting your money down on. BetOnline.net is your number one source for your betting needs. So again, listen, when we speak, I'm trying to get it into existence, right? I'd like to see Dansby get that home run stroke back because, brother, he's got a lot of guys that are going to be on base around him, right? And I give him credit. He's hitting doubles and he's driving in some runs. But think about if he gets that home run stroke back and you've got Michael Harris and Vaughn Grissom and Ronnie and all these guys that keep getting on with all this speed out there in front of him. Dansby could push toward 100 RBI. There's no reason why he can't push toward 100. He needs 31 RBI to get to 100 for this year. And if you think about how many two-hole hitters in Major League Baseball, because that's basically where he's hit for most all the season, how many two-hole hitters are 100 RBI guys? If he can get that power stroke increased a little bit, and that's the thing about Dansby, right? We know that he's always very streaky. It can be up, it can be down, and this, that, and the other. He may not be the perfect profile for a two-hole hitter. The only thing I think missing from Dansby's game is you'd like to see him walk a little bit more, right? If he can walk a little bit more and get above that 350 on-base percentage, then he becomes, an ideal top-of-the-order hitter because he's got the speed, he's got power, he's got gap power, he's got the ability to drive in runs, right? He can do a lot of different things with the bat. But, boy, his home run numbers get very, very streaky at times. Nothing in the first 71. He's only got 1 in 138. And then he goes 1 homer about every 21 plate appearances, where he hits 15 in 323, which comes out to about 21 and a half plate appearances. So if Dansby can find that home run stroke back, right? And, look, this team is built around home runs, strikeout, right? That's how they profile, out there. But there's no reason why Dansby can't put up that 100 RBI number hitting at the top of the order. And you think about the way that this lineup rolls and is constructed with the guys at the bottom and the guys at the top. Again, I think it's the deepest lineup in all of Major League Baseball. I think that there is so many different things that they can do at different points in your order up there. And look, the Braves are now 2 games back of the Mets, right? You keep beating up on the dirt bag, flea bag, pond scum, bottom of the barrel sludge, and you take that scraper and you got to scrap it all up off there, right? And clean out all the muck and gunk that's anything in there, right? But if Dansby can find that home run stroke, think about how dangerous even more dangerous that this lineup can be. All right, when we come back, Felipe Franks is in a tough spot. I'll explain all of that next. It's Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.